So yeah, seize the opportunities. If you can learn while at work, if you find a job that's offering you training and development, take it. Be positive, always have a positive mindset and accept the challenges that come your way is probably my advice. So I'm Sarah Brown. I'm head of people at ESH Group, East Surrey Holdings Group. Consists of a number of companies, but the main company being SES Water, a regulated water utility. We have about 350 employees that work at the company. My job title is head of people. I'm a HR director for the whole group. The role is quite varied. So in a given day, I could be attending a board meeting and discussing strategy. And in the afternoon, I might be attending the D&I working group or dealing with an employee relations matter. So it's great. And I love the variety that HR can give, and particularly this role. It's a busy role, and with so many group companies, actually, each company having a different set of T's and C's, a different culture, different industry. So it really is varied. I think HR is a great career because you can be a generalist. I'm a generalist. However, you can also specialise. There are so many areas that you can specialise in. And I think for me and the sort of person I am, it's the variety. You may think you're going to be doing X, Y, and Z in a given day, and actually someone comes through your door and you're doing A, B, C instead. So the variety is brilliant. I think also it's the continuous improvement. I've been with this company 12 years now, and there is still things to do, still things to improve on, different things we can introduce, best practice changes. It is an area that is always developing. And a big project we've got at the moment is actually digitalising HR, so making life easier for our managers and our employees, which has been really, really exciting. My dad was in the RAF, therefore we moved every 2.5 years. So I was lucky enough to live in places like Berlin, Brussels, Cyprus, and all over the UK. However, what that did mean is that my education was quite interrupted, because every 2.5 years you're moving, every 2.5 years you're having to make new friends and losing friends, because we didn't have email or mobile phone, then. Wow. So that was quite difficult. However, I do think it gave me the sense of wanting variety and change and sort of not such a stable background, I suppose. I think I also had a bit of a difficult background with my mum. So home was incredibly difficult. So that plus moving around a lot, I did actually go to boarding school from the age of 11. I hated it. I was desperately homesick and I ran away many times only to be sent back again. So I did 5 years at boarding school. It wasn't an environment that suited me. I didn't do well there. And after that, I gave a bit of an ultimatum to my dad. So I was going to keep running away, or I wanted to go to my local comprehensive to do sixth form, which I actually did. And looking back on it, it's quite a brave move because I'd never been to a mixed school. The boarding school was all girls. And I had no local friends. This is the other thing with boarding school. If when you go back at holidays, nobody because you don't go to school around there. So, I do remember the fear I had of walking up to the school gates at 16 on my first day. And being actually quite different than everybody else. I spoke differently, I looked different, I wore different clothes. And it was hard at first, but it was the best thing that I did. It really was. The friends that I made there are lifelong friends now. And it was just great having a social life, having local friends. The academic bit was a bit hard. I had some catching up to do. And I was told actually not to apply to university because my grades were just not good enough. But I like nothing more than a challenge, and someone telling me that I can't do something is all I need to actually prove them wrong. And I did really well in my A levels, but I hadn't applied to university. So after that, my dad sent me to a secretarial school to learn to touch type and to learn to do shorthand, which I think is probably a dying art now. And it was 3 months. My dad said, I'll pay for your bed sit, but you pay for everything else. So I did cleaning at a local girls' school, private girls' school in the evening. to pay for my food and going out money. And that's what I did for 3 months. I wasn't terribly pleased at the time, and I couldn't see why I'd need to type, but it has been a fantastic skill. I did learn on an old-fashioned typewriter, the ones where you get your fingers stuck in the keys and you push the thing along at the top, the reel along. It's quite interesting when you walk around the office and you see lots of managers typing like this. You think, oh my goodness, if everybody in the building could touch type, just think how much more efficient we'd be. It's the sort of skill actually they should teach at school, as well as Excel spreadsheets, personal finances, this sort of thing. It always amazes me that some of this stuff isn't on the national curriculum. So following that, for 2 years I then did secretarial temping work because I could type, and it was so easy to earn money temping. And it wasn't really until I was 22 that I applied to university. And that was through somebody that really inspired me and someone that had faith in me and really helped to my confidence and self-esteem. And I was actually his secretary at the time. And he said, I don't know why you don't pursue something different. Go back to, go to university now. And I had an absolute passion through my dad, really, because my dad was a keen bird watcher, loved the environment. And so I applied to do an environmental science degree at King's College in London. And this chap, Roland, he helped me apply. And I didn't tell my dad, actually. I didn't tell him until I got a place. And it was an unconditional place because I'd obviously already got my A-levels. And then I told my dad, who thought I was crazy because I love variety, don't stick with anything. How on earth was I going to do 3 years of study? Anyway, I did. And again, that was another I'm going to prove you wrong moment. I suppose what that taught me is it's never too late to have a change of direction. Listen to people. He had faith in me. He could see something that I couldn't as a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, but he saw something in me. And, I'll be forever thankful for that. So, yes, off I went, and I got a first class honours degree, which I was really pleased at. So I think then it was quite difficult in the night. I think I graduated in 96. And at the time, the environmental movement, yes, it was there, but it was not that easy to get jobs in it. So I fell back onto my secretarial skills. And it was through a job that I got actually working in a private quantity surveying practice that they were looking for a graduate to go into HR. I have to admit, I didn't really know what HR was at the time, but I thought, I don't care, actually, it's a graduate position. And so I took it. And I also took it because actually they were offering to pay for the CIPD, the professional HR qualification. So, if you can find an opportunity where you've got a company that is going to support you and pay for your training, and even better, apprenticeship, so actually you can learn on company's time, it's a great opportunity to take up. And so that's what I did. I went back to university for two evenings a week for 2 years to do my postgraduate HR qualification. So it was a bit of a squiggly career move because I fell into it by accident. But again, it was seizing an opportunity that came my way. And it was a bit of a risk. It wasn't where my heart was at the time. But it certainly paid off because I've absolutely loved my career in HR. I think it's focusing on your personal growth and learning. And as I have, when the opportunities were given to me, I did take them. And, you can always change your mind again. As I said, it's never too late. I went to university at 22. I didn't start my career really in HR until I was 26 years old. I've got a 21 and a 19-year-old sons who I sometimes tear my hair out with, that they, especially my 19-year-old who doesn't know what he's doing. But then I think, why am I getting stressed with him? He's 19. I didn't decide till I was 26. And I think this generation as well will probably have a lot more jobs, a lot more career moves. They'll try different things than probably my generation did. So, seize the opportunities. If you can learn while at work, if you find a job that's offering you training and development, take it. Be positive, always have a positive mindset, and accept the challenges that come your way is probably my advice.